Hello and good morning and welcome to day one of my Colombia 2024 tour. So I'm here at Moto Ride Medellin. We're just making our last preparations. As you can see over my shoulder here, we have a truck that's going to carry the luggage. These bikes that we're riding, they're only 200 cc's, about 16 horsepower. And while that's fine for the roads, I don't mind that I'm not carrying my luggage for the duration of the trip on them. So we have a spare bike as well in case there's a problem, and all our luggage will go on there. So today we're going to head up to Jardin via Jerico. It's kind of an easy day. I think we're doing about 100 miles, 160 kilometers, something like that. So just really easing into the bikes, getting used to the riding. Right now it's Sunday morning and the tour's been structured this way just so that people's first experience of South American traffic isn't trying to get out on a busy day out of Medellin. So it should be nice and peaceful, maybe a few people going to church. But yeah, looking forward to a really fun day and riding some new roads. I've done the roads out of Medellin before, but not beyond that. It's Alex Rubin who's going to be leading us off, and we're ready to go. And here we go, riding out of Medellin on day one of Tour of Colombia. Now I know that some people, when talking about this, they were concerned about the traffic in South America, and for that reason the aim of this trip is actually to start on a Sunday morning, which we are. So I think it's just gone 9 AM Monday morning. The roads are very quiet and it should be a fairly simple escape from the city. If you look on the left hand side of the dual carriageway, you can see that there's no traffic at all and there's lots of people cycling. So it's quite an outdoorsy place here in Medellin, and every Sunday morning a couple of the main dual carriageways through the city are closed in one direction. Riding with a flat, I don't know if you can see that, the rear tyre's almost off the rim, but luckily he's sitting on the handlebars, so not putting too much weight on it. Hopefully that's working out for him. So right now I think we are out of the city and we're climbing up into the hills. As you can see, we've gone from this big dual carriageway that's full of trucks and buses to this, which is a paved road. Still a few trucks and buses on it, but not as much traffic as we'd seen before. Now it has been a bit wet here lately. As you can see, there's a bit of drizzle now, but it's so warm that you don't really feel it very much. What you do see from time to time is these landslips at the side of the road. I'm sure we'll see more of those, especially onto some of the dirt roads as we go up. Just coming down to a péage now. There's lots of these paved roads out of the city seem to be toll roads, but the nice thing is that it's free for motorcycles, and they even have a dedicated motorcycle lane, so you don't have to wait for the barrier. That said, let's see if we can actually get to it, because it's normally maybe a little bit tight getting through here. Squeeze through that gap, there we go. And this is the dedicated motorcycle lane. It's yellow concrete to make sure we stay where we're supposed to be, and a little bit of water. Been climbing for a while, probably about half an hour, 45 minutes out of Medellin. We're now just coming through a small town. It's still been cloudy. There's been a bit of blue sky every now and again, and it's been very much a sort of cloud forest. You know, lots of sort of greenery, almost like jungle, sort of rainforest terrain, very heavily wooded hillsides. Here we are coming onto the market square in the village of Fredonia. It's interesting to see the hustle and bustle on a Sunday. Lots of guys out on their horses, always nice to see. And just through there, through the gap, hopefully you can see the cloud forest, the hillsides. Really is quite a cool place. So I think we might be stopping here. So that is coffee break. We're here, we've just stopped for a quick coffee stop, parked up on the town square. And we're in a restaurant called Restaurant Otra Parte. I'll give you a quick look around in here so you can see everyone. So yeah, everyone's just taking a bit of a pause from riding today. We've done about an hour and 20 minutes to get out here. So we're gonna have a coffee and then I'm gonna head back out. I'll show you a bit of what the square looks like, then we'll get back on the bikes and carry on. So this is what the town of Fredonia looks like. The place we stopped was just up there behind me in a restaurant. And yeah, we're now gonna get back on the bikes, carry on and head up towards a place I mispronounced this morning. We're heading up to Jerico. I think I said Jericho, but yeah, potato, and you have my apologies. I see a horse having a look in the coffee shop there. Coming down this pretty steep road, heading out of Fredonia. So it's a nice little town for a coffee stop. Alex said when we stopped, this is what he thought Colombia would look like. Right, then onwards, heading up towards Jerico for lunch. So to get up to Fredonia, we did seem to climb for a long time. Now that we've left, we now seem to be doing the complete opposite. We're coming down this quite steep, twisty road. Not a bad road surface. Every now and again it gives way. If you look over to my left there, you can just see that the clouds are clearing. You see a bit more of the scenery, even though we're still going through what is essentially, I guess, rainforest or jungle. But just descending, and then these amazing views of the Colombian landscape, and some pretty cool roads to ride as well. There's quite a few landslips in this bit of the road, so just coming down here nearly every, I don't know, 10 meters or so there's something that has fallen down, has slipped down the bank. Wow, that's a big one. And just out into the middle of it. They have had a lot of rain here, even though it's not raining here today, but we're certainly seeing the after effects, and the rivers are all in full flow. Well, so now we're down in the bottom of the valley, going over the Rio Cauca on this little suspension bridge, steel suspension bridge. You can see all of that rain that we've had. You see like whole tree trunks being washed down through the river there. It's certainly very full at the moment. Having got down this low, it's suddenly got really warm as well. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but it's probably climbed 10 degrees since when we stopped for coffee. I do have my vents open, but we've been going fairly slow paced down the hill, just because around every corner there's been a landslip. Nevertheless, we're just heading up into the town of Jerico. Yeah, it's been kind of a fun morning, dodging the landslips, trying to work out exactly what these little 200cc 16 horsepower bikes will do at 2,000 meters. I don't know what that is, 6,000, 7,000 feet elevation. They're certainly down on power a little bit, but they're still doing what they need to do, and it's still almost the quickest thing on the roads. But just the scenery, especially when you can see it, is just really, really stunning. So we're not far from the lunch stop now. We're actually just going to stop in Jerico for lunch, but I just thought I'd give you a quick look around because I'm up on the hill just above the town, and it really is quite a stunningly beautiful place. You can actually see it, which makes a big difference. That helps quite a lot. Just give you a quick look at the scenery. It's not shrouded in mist like at the last stop, but it is definitely quite a cool place. There's even a Christ the Redeemer up there just behind me, looking out over the town. So now we're just riding into the town of Jerico. So it's like quite a pretty place. Apparently it's a little bit touristy. The road's looking like in slightly better condition than some of the others we've seen. Yeah, this actually looks pretty nice. Lots of people out again. We did find out actually that today is Mother's Day, which is also why there's a lot of people out spending time with their mothers, and just randomly wandering out into the street. So we've just stopped for lunch here in Jerico, and I've just had quite a remarkable plate of food. There was a very slow cooked, very soft beef with a raspberry juice. Alex has been tucking into the chicken here at the Pollo Loco, just off the main square by the cathedral. Danielle's been tucking into the chicharron, which is pork belly, and then down here we have some more chicken being consumed together with some raspberry and some coconuts lemonade. You can just about see the market square outside there and the cathedral over to the right. Alright then, that was a tasty lunch, lovely bit of cake with a coffee, and now I think I'm ready for a nap, except we've now got some dirt roads to ride, which should be a lot of fun this afternoon. Looks like there's a lot of Jeep tours going on around here. And that's the cathedral here in Jerico. So we're now leaving the paved roads of Antioquia and heading off on some slightly less paved roads, full of this slippery, slimy mud. Woo! And that is very slippery and slimy. I'm sure it'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? It's actually quite nice being on rocks after all that slippery, muddy clay, and the trails have dried out almost immediately. A few people had asked me what the roads were like in Colombia, and a lot of them are paved, like the ones this morning, and I think this is probably fairly typical of the dirt roads. So yes, when this is soaking wet, it does become a bit treacherous with all the clay, but there's enough rocks in it to give you a bit of grip. These bikes aren't on full knobblies, they're just on these well, let's generously say 50-50. They're probably more like an 80-20 road tyre, but they're absolutely fine. I mean, we're not going quickly, we're doing 25-30 kilometers an hour, something like that, through this landscape, through this scenery. And yeah, it's probably more like green laning in the UK than sort of hard enduro. And bearing in mind, these are just normal roads that are used by the locals to get around, so you do see horses and trucks and buses and all sorts of things on them. Buses like that, which take up quite a lot of the road. Saw a few of them in the town. That's the first one I've come across on this trail. This is getting a bit more interesting now. There's a lot more water around, it's still mostly rock, so the riding's actually not too bad, but we are not going as quickly as we were earlier. But there is just this incredible scenery around us, and the foliage, you know, it's definitely going through, well, so it looks more like a deciduous forest, although it's the same weather all year round, so I don't think the leaves ever really fall off the trees. Not sure how good the stabilisation will be on my GoPro and whether it'll pick all this up or whether I'm just rocking around way too much, but it is a lot of fun. And for those of you that enjoy trail riding and this might appeal, let me know. I'm going again next year. Yeah, it's great fun. We've got miles of this. The terrain has changed again. Now we're almost into pine forest, tall pine trees with there's quite a steep climb over these sort of slippery wet rocks, which is another type of fun. Hill, we'll come out with this amazing view out over the mountains, absolutely stunning. Oh, and there's quite a few bikes coming up the other way too. Let them through, there we go. It's such an amazing place to ride. Going to these little towns, there's absolutely incredible scenery all around, and yeah, having a great time. Well, that was fun. Yeah, we've got to the end of that dirt road and suddenly we ended up in this small town in the middle of nowhere. Seems to be quite a busy day. You know, there's people out enjoying the sunshine on the Sunday. Buenos Aires, I believe it's called, according to the sign up there in front of the church. But yeah, it's just a really nice day, and now we're getting a view of some more of the high mountains. So if I just swing that round, you can see them over there behind me. And yeah, it's been great. So I think we've still got a bit of a way to go before we get to Jardin, but yeah, loving it. The journey continues. It's great just seeing these little towns, really. You know, life just carrying on. Yeah, even though it's a small town in the middle of nowhere in Colombia, you get these amazing views of the mountains and the sunshine, and it's just absolutely glorious. Right, we've got about 1 hour to go before we get to Jardin for the evening. We're not long out of Buenos Aires, which is this it's a rather fun trail you can see behind me. It's dirt road. But what we do have now is this absolutely stunning view of the mountains and the scenery over there behind me. I mean, it really is absolutely incredible. This is what you get if you come and ride motorbikes here. So yeah, we've all just stopped to take a few pictures. And our descent down these dirt roads continues. So a fairly precipitous drop over there to my left, and these slippery, sort of greasy, muddy bits are still very slippery, greasy and muddy. But the clouds are gone and the scenery is still remarkable as we fly down these hills. So I think there's still maybe 45 minutes left, but you know, around every bend you get a view like this, and it's not really like the Peak District. Some guy's going to get some takeaway. But yeah, it's just brilliant. I love it. Lots of bananas growing around here, so yes, it must be nice and warm and sunny for those to flourish. Well, it's not your everyday roadblock you have there, but off we go. And suddenly out of nowhere, the dirt road ends and we're back on tarmac, and it's gloriously smooth. Still winding down this hill in just a delightful way. I mean, it's not a fast road, but I mean, you just get this scenery and it's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I mean, it's a lot of places in the world that I go to look a bit like Scotland or even the Peak District, but there's relatively few places I've been that has scenery like this. That's why I've come. The other guys seem to be enjoying it too, so that's a bonus. So we're still on the road up to Jardin, and yeah, it's got a bit bigger. It's still very, very twisty, sort of clinging to the side of this valley as we go up. It's not as busy as it was in Medellin, but you do get these big vehicles like that every now and again that come through. Sometimes they're on your side of the road, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you go through standing water like that. But all the way up we have this amazing view of the mountains. You know, it really is spectacular. What I'm also finding is that as we climb, once again, Engine's losing power a bit, as you'd expect. These are carved bikes, 16 horsepower at sea level when they're new, so I'm sure it's down in power a little bit. And I'm finding that when previously fourth would take me up a lot of these hills, I'm having to drop down to third, but I guess that's just what it is. I think that's probably it really. I've said enough about how amazing this scenery is, but I think that the next update will probably be just when we're coming into Jardin. And then just up ahead there is a Jeep, and I think that's got a twisted chassis, because I think that's driving sideways. Now it might be a three-wheeler, but I'm fairly sure that's a four-wheeler with a bent chassis. Yeah, that doesn't look great. It's got the back wheels pointing one direction, the front wheels pointing another, and up it goes. But we'll see, we can just sneak round it. Yeah, definitely seen better days. So this is where we're staying the night. This is the town of Jardin. It looks like a fairly busy place, lots of people out and about for the day. Now we've actually just stopped at the hotel here in Jardin for a quick baggage drop, and now we're just going to head out because it's not long till sunset, and there is a viewpoint up that mountain ahead of us. Oh, that's a steep hill. So we're just going to have a quick run up there. It's about a 15-minute ride to get up there. So we're just going to have a quick, so stay there dog, thank you, quick run up that hill, a ride back down for a cold beer, I think. So I'm wondering if this is the viewpoint. It's certainly a viewpoint, and I'm not sure the road goes up any higher, but let's see. We're certainly going down. There's a tuk-tuk coming up the other way. Oh yeah, it looks like there's a terrace or something down here with a fiercely steep entry line. Yep. So he's parking at the bottom here. Hi there, so that is the end of day one. We finished the day up at this place called Cafe Jardin, which is, as you can see, the big letters behind me going all the way down there. But what we're really here for is to watch the sunset, and we're going to watch the sunset from here. And if I just lift that up a bit, you can see we've got this amazing view of the mountains all around. So this is the end of day one. Hopefully I'll get around to editing this and all the other days to put them together. But it's been a really great day of riding. It's been quite long. We set off at 9, it's now 6, so we've been on the go for 9 hours. We have stopped quite a few times for coffee, for lunch, just to take some pictures. We've only done about 100 miles, it's 160 kilometres pretty much on the nose. But when you've had scenery like this throughout the day, it really is something else. So I hope this has been interesting and useful. If it has, please check out my other content. There will be more from this trip to Colombia coming along the way as soon as I get around to editing it. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the sunset, have a coffee, have a ride back, and then it's going to be a cold beer time. Cheers. So right now I'm trying something new. I've never tried using my GoPro while trail riding in the dark. So let's just see how this goes. So after watching the sunset up here at Cafe Jardin, we're now heading back down into the town. And yeah, I get to try my GoPro out in the dark on a trail ride. Let's see how well this goes. This is the end to day one. I think there's a garage for the hotel in here somewhere. So yeah, really, really fun. How was your day?
Good, excellent.
Excellent.
Long.
Long. That was fun though, in a way. That was fun.